I am so excited to be here today. I feel like it finally is spring today. Do you feel like it's finally spring today? Oh my goodness, what a beautiful day it was yesterday. So let's hope today stays as beautiful as it was yesterday. All right, we'd better sing our good morning song. Are you ready to sing our good morning song? Perfect. 1, 2, 3. Good morning, little sprouts. How are you? Good, good. Good morning, little sprouts. How are you? Good, good. It is time to start our day. We will learn and work and play. Good morning, little sprouts. How are you? Good, good. Great job singing, my friends. Bonjour, mes amis. Can we say good morning to our mummies and daddies and our brothers and sisters? And we'll say good morning to Mr. Sean. And we'll say good morning to Theo. Excellent. I want to know how you're doing today. So can you tell me how you're feeling today? Those are some great feelings. I'm really proud of how we've come with describing our feelings. So I'm feeling really green today. I feel really happy that it's so nice outside. I feel calm and I feel rested. So I'm feeling all around really green. And I forgot to get you guys to say good morning to me. So let's do that now. Good morning, Miss Tracy. Oh, good morning, friends. All right, so we're gonna get started today. And I'm so excited about spring that we're gonna do a spring craft today and we're gonna read a spring book. Does that sound like a good plan for today? Excellent. All right, we are gonna need to figure out what day of the week it is though, because it was the weekend, which means that I don't know what today is. Do you know what today is? Do mummies and daddies know what today is? All right, so let's get out our 2 fingers and our 5 fingers, and we'll sing our song. There are 7 days, there are 7 days, there are 7 days in a week. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Great job. Can we sing our song again, but this time in French? There are 7 days, there are 7 days, there are 7 days in a week. Dimanche, lundi, mardi, mercredi, jeudi, vendredi, samedi. Do you know what day of the week it is today? So yesterday it was Sunday. So today it will be Monday or lundi. Today is Monday. Today is Monday. Today is Monday and we're going to have some fun. All right, I need to move the days and then we also need to count. So we're not counting to this number or this number, but we are counting to this really big number here. Do you know what number that is? I think we'll figure it out when we do some counting. 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. 2 and 0 make 20. Can you say 20? Great job. All right. So let's write out our date. So it is Monday. Who remembers what month it is? Because it's not March anymore. It's April. And then what was the really big number we counted to today? 20. Great job. So Monday, April 20. Perfect. All right. Our next job is the weather. And I'm actually really excited about doing the weather today because it's so nice. What's the weather? What's the weather? What's the weather, everyone? Is it snowy? Is it cloudy? Is there rain or is there sun? All right. So I'm still going to have our panda wear his rain boots today because there are still a few puddles around. And if he decided he was going to go jumping in puddles, I'd really want him to have his feet protected. Ooh, I skipped a step though, didn't I? I didn't get you to look outside. So let's look outside. Use our looking eyes to look outside at the weather and tell me what you see when you look outside. Great. So I see, when I look outside the window here, I see sun, and I still see a little bit of clouds, but not too many clouds, mostly sun. Okay, so back to the panda. He's gonna wear his rain boots. I'm still gonna get him to wear pants because it's not quite warm enough for shorts yet, but he can wear his light sweater. He doesn't need to wear his warm woolly sweater. And I'll get him to wear his sunglasses today. Excellent. All right, so our weather panda is dressed and our weather is done. So let's read our story. Are you ready? I'm a good listener, read me a book. My hands are in my lap and at Miss Tracy I look. When she sees I'm ready, she will say, here is the story I have for you today. So today, my story is called Inch by Inch. What do you think my story is about? Can you see this guy? Let's figure out who he is. And what's this? That looks like a bird, doesn't it? One day, a hungry robin saw an inchworm, green as an emerald, sitting on a twig. He was about to gobble him up. Not very good for the inchworm. Don't eat me! I'm an inchworm. I am useful. I measure things. Is that so? Said the robin. Well, then measure my tail. Do you think the inchworm can measure the robin's tail? That's easy, said the inchworm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 inches. So can you pretend that you are an inchworm with your fingers? Just think, said the robin. My tail is 5 inches long. And with the inchworm, he flew to where other birds needed to be measured. The inchworm measured the neck of the... Who's this? Flamingo. He measured the... Who's this? Toucan's beak. The legs of the heron. Remember, heron is a kind of bird. The tail of the pheasant. And the whole hummingbird, because hummingbirds aren't very big, right? One morning, the nightingale met the inchworm. Measure my song, said the nightingale. But how can I do that? Said the inchworm. I measure things, not songs. Measure my song, or I'll eat you for breakfast, said the nightingale. The nightingale is not being very nice to the inchworm. Then the inchworm had an idea. I'll try, he said. Go ahead and sing. Oh my goodness, there we go. The nightingale sang, and the inchworm measured away. What do you think the inchworm is measuring? He measured and measured. See him? inch by inch. Until he inched out of sight. Oh, that tricky inchworm. The end. Was he able to measure the nightingale song? No, because the song is not a thing, right? It's something we hear. And inchworms can't measure how songs make sound. So that level of volume is called decibels. So the inchworm measures length, but not the length of sound. So he tricked the nightingale, didn't he? The nightingale wasn't being very nice to him, though. The nightingale was actually very mean. So I don't blame the inchworm for inching away from the nightingale while the nightingale was distracted by singing. Do you? No. All right. Today, I want you to make a spring painting, but not just any spring painting. We're going to make tulips with a fork. So, I have my materials right here. So I have 2 colors of paint. And one tip I wanted to give mummies and daddies is that if they don't have a paint palette, they can use the lid of a yogurt container for paint. That's what we use at school because it makes a nice big surface for paint to sit on. So I have 2 colors. I have purple and I have yellow. Good job. So I'm going to put those down for just a second. Then I have a fork. I have leaves. I have a green strip of paper. I have scissors. And then I have my paper. So the first thing we do is write our name on the paper. So I'm going to write my name at the top, Miss Tracy. All right, so there's my name. My name is at the top of the paper. So the next step, I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to take my green blade of grass and I'm going to cut. So you can do this 2 ways. It's too big to be one stem, so I need to cut it in 2. But I don't want to cut it in half. Cutting it in half is really easy. You fold it in half and then you cut. Instead, I'm just going to make a cut. So I'm going to use my helper hand, and Tommy Thumb's going to go in the little hole, and the finger family's going to go in the big hole. And I'm going to find somewhere that's not quite in the middle, and I'm going to cut it. The other thing you can do, if you're feeling brave, is you can use your helper hand to pinch a little bit of the stem. And then I want you to use your scissors to make a wave in your stem, because stems aren't perfect. They're not just rectangles, right? They might be thin at one end and fat at the other. There's a lot of different ways that the stems can be. Now, I forgot something. I forgot to get glue. So I'm just going to tell you what we're going to do. If I had glue, which I don't because I forgot my glue over there, I would take glue and I would put glue on this stem, and then I would glue the stem to the paper. And then I would glue, oh, I dropped the other stem. I would glue the other stem over here. And then, if I hadn't forgot my glue stick, I would take my leaves and I would glue one leaf here and I would glue the other leaf here. Okay, so just imagine for a minute that we did that I remembered my glue and I was able to glue my stems down. The next step would be painting with a fork. So I'm going to get my yellow paint and my fork. So you're going to use your fork, and I'm going to hold this right here to show you. So you're going to take the back of your fork and you're going to push it around. You want to make sure you're getting paint all over your fork, because this only works if there's a lot of paint on the fork. Okay, so I think I've got enough paint. I'm going to put this down, and then I'm going to paint my tulip. So I'm going to press my fork down just like that. This fork's not very good for getting the base of the tulip. So I'll try a little bit harder with the next one. So the next color is purple. So I'm going to take my fork again and I'm going to get it all covered. Let's see if I do a better job with this color. Getting it all over my fork. All right, it's pretty good. So I would be doing this at the top of my stem, so I'm just going to pretend my stems are on the paper. And then I'm going to push my fork down and then get the tines, which is the pokey bits of the fork, onto the paper. So I'm gonna push it around a little bit. You might not need to get the base of your tulip going. So there's my tulips. And then if you can imagine for a minute, I will hold the stem and the leaf, how I might have glued them. So there's my tulip. Pretty good. And if you want, you can do more than that. If you have lots of green paper to make stems and leaves, you can by all means make as many tulips as you want on your sheet of paper. So the activity I wanted you to do today was just to continue playing with the rice in the sensory bin that you have. I want you to practice scooping and pouring. I want you to see if maybe mommy or daddy has a funnel. Maybe you can use those little plastic cups I gave you and fill them up and use a spoon to do that. Or maybe you can pour from one cup to the other with the funnel. But I want you to see what you can do. And I want you to listen. So as you're pouring the rice, what sound does it make? Does it fall all at once or does it fall slowly? And can you hear almost each grain drop? That's what I want you to figure out today. So that's all I have today. I do want to talk to you about one really important thing. So on Wednesday is Earth Day. Who knows what Earth Day is? Those are some great answers. So Earth Day is a day when we celebrate our planet Earth. So where we live, remember, is on a planet. So we live in a city that's inside a province, that's inside a country, that's on a continent, that is on the planet Earth. So we need to take care of planet Earth. On Wednesday, we're going to talk a lot more about how we make sure that we take care of our planet and make sure that it's safe so that we breathe clean air and drink clean water. But I am going to talk to you a little bit today about the 3 R's. So remember, our letter R looks like this. So that's our letter R, upper and lower case. So we do something called the 3 R's, where we reduce, we reuse, and we recycle. And tomorrow I'm going to teach you a fun little song, but I want to talk to you about the 3 things that we can do to make sure our earth stays nice and clean and healthy. So the first one is reduce. So we do this in lots of different ways. We do this when we bring our own grocery bags, our reusable grocery bags to the grocery store. We reduce the amount of waste we make by not getting plastic bags. If we buy things at Bulk Barn, if you've ever gone to Bulk Barn with mommy or daddy, which I don't think we're doing right now, but if you did go there and you brought your own containers, instead of buying lots of little containers at the grocery store, that would be reducing. There's also lots of other ways that we can reduce the amount of waste or garbage that we make. So when we don't buy things with lots of packaging, or when we make sure that we are buying conscientious products, so things that make us think about where they come from. So that can be really complicated, and it's a lot bigger than I expect you guys to understand, but it's really important that we talk about how we can reduce the amount of garbage that we put out into the world. The next thing is reusing. So we talked about this a little bit with the garbage bags. Or the grocery bags. When we take our reusable grocery bags into the store, we are reusing something, which means we use it more than once. So for instance, if you went out and you had fries at Wendy's and you got those little ketchup packets, right? Once you've used it, what happens to it? it's done. It goes in the garbage. But if you had a bottle and you refilled the bottle with ketchup, you wouldn't be wasting that packet. So instead of throwing out something, we reuse it multiple times. That ketchup packet, you can't get back. It's garbage. And I'm not saying that you should bring your own ketchup when you go to Wendy's. I'm just trying to give you an example so that you understand what it means when we reuse something. On Wednesday, we are going to use recycled materials for our crafts. So I'm going to send mummies and daddies an email to remind them to grab cardboard paper rolls and caps off of bottles. So pop bottles or the lids to anything really is kind of what I'm looking for. And we're going to use them in our art project. So that's a way that we can reuse something that it no longer had a purpose anymore. It was just garbage. We make it into something else. I read a book a really long time ago about making carpets or rugs from recycled plastic bottles. So that's a really good way that we can reuse something. Now, there's all sorts of other issues with that we're not going to get into today. But it's just an example of how we can use something that no longer has a purpose to do something else. The last thing I'm going to talk to you about is recycling. So when we take our bottles and our cans to the recycling depot, or we fill up our blue bins with cardboard and paper, we are recycling it. Recycling means when we take something and we break it down to make something else. So for instance, we take pop bottles and we break them down, and sometimes things like fleece are made with plastic, or the rugs I talked to you about are made with plastic. We take paper and we might buy recycled paper to use for printing or for crafts. So those are lots of ways that we can use something more than once, but in a different way. I know it's a lot of information, but these are 3 things that are really important to making sure that our earth stays clean and healthy. Because if our earth is clean and healthy, that means it's going to be around for a much longer time for lots of people to enjoy it. And I think that's really important. So that's why I want to talk to you about it. So tomorrow I'm going to teach you a recycling song that I made up. And on Wednesday, I'm going to show you what kind of art we are going to make with some recycled materials. So the last thing I have for you today is our magic box. Who's ready for magic box? Excellent. All right. So today I put something in here that I think you might not be able to guess. I had some good suggestions for things I can put in the magic box, and I will, but today I managed to find something I hadn't used before. So Dason wants to know, what sound does it make? So it doesn't make a sound, but when you're using it, there's lots of sounds that happen, but it doesn't make a sound. So that's really confusing, but if I could talk today, we will understand more in a minute. Bryce wants to know, does it shoot webs? No, it does not shoot webs. Emmett wants to know, what color is it? It's orange and white. So it doesn't make a sound, it doesn't shoot webs, and it's orange and white. How do you use it? So we would use this in gym class, to exercise, or playing outside. We probably wouldn't play inside the house with it. So it doesn't make a sound, it doesn't shoot webs, it's orange and white, and you use it in gym class or to exercise or have fun, but outside. Are your thinking brains thinking? Yeah. Do you have any clues or guesses as to what might be inside my magic box? Those are some really good guesses. So I will also tell you that when I use it, my heart starts beating really fast and my legs get a really big workout. My calves especially. Speaking of my calves, I needed to stretch more before our dance party on Thursday, so I'm going to have to do a lot of stretching this Thursday for our dance party. So, it doesn't make a sound, it doesn't shoot webs, It's orange and white. You use it to exercise or play outside. And when you use it, your heart would probably start racing and your calves or your legs would get a really good workout. I'm going to give you one really big clue. In order to use it, you need to jump. It doesn't make a sound. It doesn't shoot webs. It's orange and white. You use it to play or exercise, and you jump. Have you figured out what's inside my magic box yet? If you were yelling at the TV or the computer that it was a jumping rope, you would be totally right. So I love using jumping ropes, and I love using jumping ropes in gym. We can use them all different ways, but the main way we use them is we jump with them, right? And we use them to jump over. You guys are so smart. All right, let's get out our working hands. Are you ready? All day long we worked and played, worked and played, worked and played. All day long we worked and played, and now our day is done. Wave goodbye to all your friends, all your friends, all your friends. Wave goodbye to all your friends until we meet again. All right, friends, we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.